See, mute all. All right, everybody's muted. All right, so we're going to get started today. I'm going to do a 4-week series, an empowerment series. I usually like to throw that in here and there, hit or miss. So empowerment is just the ability of becoming stronger and more confident. It's what it takes to become stronger and more confident. So in yoga, we do that through grounding, and that's going to be our first area that we're going to discuss and that we're going to work on today. So grounding is just finding that inner calm, stability, and being able to kind of stay consistent, right? Whenever things are kind of thrown at you, life is thrown at you, and we all know what it's like to have a lot of things thrown at us now, right? There's so many changes going on. So we can kind of use our practice, our yoga practice, to kind of maybe bring a little bit of that calmness, with us into whatever's going on out there. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So the first one is grounding. So we're going to try to find that, and we get that by that mindfulness, being mindful in our practice, finding physical stability, which means that connection to earth, turning on those muscles, especially those core muscles that I remind you a lot. Those should always be turned on in almost every pose, right? And your breathing. So it's just being aware of your present time, finding that stability physically as best you can, and then trying to use your breath to find inner calmness, even if it's a challenge. All right. So that's your focus today. Just tuning in and going inward and letting your breath bring that confidence. So just a couple reminders. If anybody is totally new to yoga or to the class, I'm not sure, I can't see everybody, so I'd like to just go over it really quickly. We want to practice breathing in and out through the nose, breathing diaphragmatically, so a rise of the belly and fall of the belly with every inhale and exhale. So trying to get away from that short, shallow breathing, right? Where you see the shoulders rise, the chest rise, we want to keep it down low, right? Feeling nice and deep. And then you never want to feel any pain. So if something hurts, please come out. Be kind to your body. You're not here to beat yourself up. You're here to feel better. So just find that place, fit yourself into every pose in the practice, and enjoy it. I'm not saying, baby yourself. You want to have a little bit of a challenge, right? So that comfortable discomfort, that place where you can stay where it might not be so comfortable, but you can hang out there. All right. So you're trying to find your own personal edge. So it does not mean you have to do every variation of every pose. You stay in that area where you're in that place of comfortable discomfort. Cool. We'll get started. All right. So we're going to start today seated. So seated cross-leg pose. Again, if this isn't so great for you, lengthen a leg out. Prop a pillow. Everybody's in their living room. Grab a pillow. Put a leg on a pillow. Your blocks, whatever you need to be comfortable, sit on a pillow, sit on a block. You have all this apparatus around you that you can use. Don't be afraid to use it. So now we're going to ground down through the sit bones. That's our contact point, right? So energy into the sit bones, abs turned on, drawing the spine up and out of the pelvis, shoulders back, shoulder blades down and in, and you can rest your hands on your knees, your thighs, or maybe you like to just rest them in your lap. Just let your shoulders rest beneath your elbows rest beneath your shoulders, sorry. And then lengthen up through the back of the neck. Crown of the head wants to touch the ceiling. So it's just like in mountain pose, right? Only now we're seated. Close your eyes and let's take a moment to center. Bringing our awareness to this mat, this moment in time for the next hour or so. You want it to be all about what's happening on your mat. Begin to become aware of your breath, the breathing in and out through the nostrils, breathing to the belly. The second anchor of mindfulness is our body, your physical body. How do you feel in your muscles, your joints? How do you feel energetically? How do you feel in some of those systems of the body that you can sense? Your heart rate. We've already tuned into our breath. What about in your digestive organs? How are you feeling there? That's something that we can always be in touch with a little bit, right? We can feel that. And after becoming aware of the quality of your breath, body, and mind, use your breath to tend to those areas that could benefit from it. Let your full breath bring energy, the rhythm of your breath, calmness. And for any areas of your body that feel physically tight or stuck or just not quite right, when you bring your awareness to that space, energy and breath can follow. And just imagine you're filling that space, opening it up, and exhaling, releasing the tension. After taking care of yourself, move into your controlled yoga breathing. So most of you are probably getting familiar with this feeling, right? That feeling of deep breath, right? Filling up all the way, pushing out as much air as you can. Once you begin to breathe more deeply, let that breath become even. So count the length of that full exhale and see if you can inhale to that same count. And then finally smooth. Each breath flows right into the next. Inhale to exhale. Exhale to inhale again and again. Remember, this breath leads your practice. Always come back to it when you think of it again and again. Now let's begin to bring some movement to the body. So on your next inhale, inhale big like a balloon. Arms come out wide. Maybe even touch those fingertips together overhead. And then inhale, open all the way up and exhaling down, right? So we're exhaling down, inhaling, rising. Exhale, open as you take those arms all the way down. So what you're imagining here as you move through this breath is you're a balloon. You're filling up that balloon. Your arms are that balloon, fill them up. Exhale, let that balloon deflate, letting all the air out. Find the rhythm of your own breath. Let the movement be expansive and big. Beautiful. The next time the arms are overhead, hold them here, touch the fingers together. Remember to keep your abs on so the spine stays long. On your next inhale, let's open the arms out to shoulder height. And on your exhale, we're going to cross the right arm under the left, bend the elbows, bring the palms together. So eagle arms, hugging the shoulders if eagle arms don't quite work for you. Lift those elbows, press your forearms forward. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Next big breath in, let's lift the chest. Arms are going to lift with it. Gaze can lift with it. So we're getting a little bit of energy in that middle and upper back. Be sure those abs are on. Holding, still breathing. Nice. Now let's release the arms down. On your next inhale, rise up nice and big. Fingers touch. Hold your exhale up here. Next inhale, arms come out to the sides. And on the exhale, cross left under right. Eagle arms on this side. So the first thing you want to do is bring those elbows up if you can toward the shoulder height. Press your forearms forward. Next big inhale, lift your chest. Lift your gaze. Nice, release. Arms come down. Inhale, take them all the way up high. This time on the exhale, we're going to take the right hand behind, rest it on the floor behind you. Left hand to your thigh. Lengthen, press through those sit bones, spine comes long, exhale, navel, rib cage, chest and shoulder, then your gaze. Just moving into a nice deep twist here. From the base of the spine upward. Every inhale breath, maybe you want to just lengthen the spine a little longer, and every exhale, maybe twist a little deeper. All right, next inhale, let's come all the way back up to center, arms come high. Big breath. Exhale, let's twist to the left. So left hand behind, right hand to the thigh. Get that length first. Now twist, navel, rib cage, chest and shoulder. Nice. Return to center. Inhale, arms come high. Let's straighten out the legs. Plant your hands alongside your hips and then give your legs a little wiggle. Shake them out. They probably need it if they have them crossed especially. So now let's work our staff pose. So what we're going to think about is that grounding at the back of the legs. So the first thing I want you to do is pull your toes back like you're drawing them toward you. All right, now let's think about that connection of the sit bones. So press into the sit bones, press into your hands, see if you can lengthen your spine. Now turn your abs on so you can hold it without using your hands to press into the floor. Now let's see if we can make that connection of the whole back of the leg to the floor. See what contact points you feel, press them in, right? Really active here, you should feel it. All right, now let's take one hand to the thigh and then the other. Try not to lose that length in your spine. Shoulders back, away from the ears, right? Hold it here, keep breathing. You should really be working. If you're not, pull those toes back a little more, press those legs into the ground a little bit more. All right, now here comes a challenge. Inhale, see if you can take your arms high. Try not to slouch. Beautiful. Still connected in the back of those legs, right? Now let's exhale, hinge. Keep the spine long. Only come as far as you can, keeping the spine long. Then drop your hands toward the legs or grab your strap if you like the strap here. Soften your head and rest here with your breath. Now, are the toes still active? We're still pulling them back towards us, right? We're still trying to press the backs of the legs into the floor. Abs are still active. But our head and neck is soft. Just sort of rest here now. All right, now we're going to prepare to come up, but use your abs. So reach out with your arms first. Now, firm it all up, rise. Beautiful. Plant the hands, cross the legs again if you took the cross leg pose. If not, just shake your legs out. Rest your hands on your knees. We're just going to do a torso rotation here. So just work with your breath. On your exhale, hinge forward. On your inhale, come over to the left, lift the chest. Exhale, down and forward to the right. Inhale, up and over, all the way around. Exhale. So we're moving basically from the hips here, right? We're not just moving the head. We're getting a big circle with the upper body, abs on. Every time we press that chest up toward the ceiling and come around. So close your eyes here. Just sort of enjoy this. Let this movement be big, small, whatever feels good for you. Just getting a little benefit of that meditation and movement, right? Connecting our breath and our body. Now let's take it the other way. Over to the right and lifting up, exhaling down and forward. Last one. And release. So now we're going to come up onto our knees, and we're going to take what's called Gomukhasana, cow's face pose. So what I want you to know is if you have knee issues or hip issues, you're going to want to stay in some seated pose. If you're okay to do the cow's face, come up to tabletop, and we're going to cross the left knee behind the right, and then sort of walk your feet. And I'm not really in the view of the camera, I just realized. Okay, so I'm going to walk the feet out to the sides, then very slowly walk the hands back so you can sit. You're going to try to sit between the feet. So again, knee issues, hip issues, take a comfortable seated pose. No worries if you're not in the actual pose with the lower body. You want your knees kind of stacked one on top of the other. So once you're in the seated pose that you want to be in, you can use your strap here. We're going to take the strap in the left hand, reach it up nice and high, and then pat yourself on the back. You can take your right hand out to the side. It's almost like one of those puppets on a string, right? We're going to bend right at the elbow and try to get that hand as high up on the strap as you can. Walk your fingers toward one another. So now we're firmly planting through the sit bones, whatever position you're in, lengthening the spine out of the pelvis, open your elbows wide. And if you notice that the hands are kind of pushing your head forward, see if you can wiggle that neck long and be nice and open, and we'll hold it here. Breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice, let it go. All right, so let's all shake it, roll our shoulders first, and then we'll shake out our legs, all right? So if you're in a regular seated pose, just shake them out. If you're with me in the cow's face pose, we're gonna unwind the legs, maybe just sort of shift the hips side to side a little bit, or some hip circles. And then we're gonna cross the right behind the left. Wiggle those feet outward, then very slowly start to walk the hands back. See if you can find the block or the floor with your butt. All right, nice and wide here. All right, once you're in the seated pose of choice, grab that strap. Watch out for that metal clip. I catch myself with that all the time. Right arm high, pat yourself on the back. Left arm out to the side. Little puppet here, bend that elbow, work those hands as close together as you can on that strap. If you find that your fingers can touch, see if you can grab a hold of the fingers. You can actually get a little grasp going there. Open up those elbows, lengthen the neck. Hold it here. And release. Beautiful. You can toss that strap to the side if you were using it. Shift forward onto your knees, unwind, and on the exhale, we're going to send those sit bones back toward the heels and take a child's pose. So walk your fingers forward, pull forward a little bit, soften your forehead toward the floor, soften your forearms. Take a moment in your child's pose to feel the movement of your breath. All right, now from our child's pose, we're gonna rise up to tabletop. So stack those wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. All right, so we're gonna start right from the basics here. Spread your fingers, point them forward. Now very gently start to press into your fingertips. Press into the knuckles at the base of your fingers. Press into the heels and palms of your hand. All right, so even your thumbs and index fingers are pressing in, right? Press in a little bit into your lower legs. Then send your tailbone back. It's like you're trying to press it to the back of the room, and your crown you want to press to the front of the room. So I'm going to count down from 3. When we get to 1, I want you to push into all those areas we just talked about and turn your abs on, hips to ribs, ribs to hips, okay? And still breathe. So we'll go 3, 2, 1. Big energy. Push in, push everything away, turn on those abs. Keep breathing for 5, 4, 3, don't let it go, 2, 1. Nice. Next, inhale, let the belly sink, sit bones open, shoulders draw away from the ears. Take a cow pose. Exhale, cat, navel to spine, chin to chest. Inhale, let it all go. Take your cow. Exhale, cat. So continue to move here, keeping that grip with your hands, that grip with your lower legs, right? Yes, and now we're getting as much movement as we can through the spine. So try to get as much flexion in the spine as you can and as much extension. All right, now from here, we're going to add that leg extension. So on your next exhale, let's take the right knee to nose. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send it back. Continue to move with your breath here. So now we have choices to make. We can keep both hands planted, or you can take that left arm long and decide to touch elbow to knee beneath you. So if you want to go there, add it in, right? It's all about choices. How far, where do I want to go with my practice today? Listen to your body. All right, now, on the next exhale breath, when you have your elbow and knee together, let's hold it. And even if both hands are planted, you're just holding that knee pulled in, right? Tuck your chin, draw your navel in toward your spine. Notice the energy in your right hand and your lower left leg. Push that floor away. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, take it long. All 5 toes point down, even here. Push through those hands, those fingertips, knuckles, palms. 5, 4. Abs are still on. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Lower the hand, the leg, take a child's pose of choice. All right, let's rise back up, tabletop. Let's prepare for the other side. Set your tabletop, and here we go. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push in, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. Time for choices. If you did the balance on the other side, you might want to try on this side. You might notice a difference between the sides, and that's okay, not unusual, so just kind of go with it. All right, here we go. Next exhale, elbow to knee, or hold that knee in. We're going to keep it in there. So what happens is we're really contracted in the abdominal muscles, right? See if you can guide your breath to the space behind it. Fill as big as you always do, but behind those contracted muscles, imagine you're filling up back there. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lengthen, and hold. Set the pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Lower down. Child's pose. Take an extended child's pose. Arms long out in front. Soften the forehead. All right, next big breath in, we're gonna shift forward, pressing into those fingertips, let the hips sink, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, all the way back to child's pose. Lengthen the sides of the body. Inhale, forward, open and sink. Exhale back. Continue moving here with your breath, closing your eyes if you can. And just notice how it feels as you transition between these two poses. You might notice that it feels like it's opening you up a bit. If you get that sensation, like you can come a little bit further forward, maybe sink the hips a little deeper, maybe draw those shoulders a little further back, go with it. See if you can get just a little bit more movement each time. All right, now the next time we come forward, we're gonna hold. So turn on your abs, sink the hips, staple your shoulder blades together. Yes. How's the weight in your hands? Do you have some weight in the index finger and thumb? Keep that active. Nice. Next exhale, roll down, come onto your belly. Stack your forearms. Let's take a crocodile pose. So the forehead's on the forearms, little adjustments to the legs to suit your hips. Just begin to feel the movement of the breath against the floor, right? You can feel the belly as it presses down and draws away. All right, so now we're going to work a locust pose. So take a chin or your forehead to the floor, whatever's more comfortable for you. It really doesn't matter. And we're going to take the arms long alongside your legs. So the first thing we're going to do is think about lifting the low body, right, the legs. So we're lifting the legs from the hips. So you're not just bending the knee and lifting like a flutter kick or anything like that. You want the whole leg to lift, right? So we have to be engaged here. So with your chin or forehead on the floor, you're going to try to keep it there. Let's press the tops of the feet into the floor, engage your legs. Press your pubic bone into the floor a little bit so the abs are turned on. Let's all take a big inhale. Then on your exhale, see if you can lift the legs right from the hip. Feel the glutes work, right? Core, low back. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Couple more on your own here, really focusing on lifting at the hip, not just the knee. Doesn't mean the legs are going to come very high off the ground, and that's okay. Just work with your breath on that exhale, lifting, and focus on keeping that forehead or chin to the floor. Don't let it come up. We're building back strength here. All right, now last time on that exhale, lift and hold. Now really press that forehead or chin in, abs turned on. See if you can bring your legs maybe a little closer together, hips width or closer. Don't let them splay out too far. Breathing deep for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Beautiful. Take a cheek to the floor. Rest your arms. Maybe like to shift your hips side to side. If that works for you, go there. Get rid of some of that tension. All right. Back to the chin or the forehead. Arms reach back. So now we're going to lift the upper body and we're going to try to keep the toes planted, right? So remember that pedicure that we don't want to ruin? Well, we're ruining it. So firm up those legs, press into the toes. Press your pubic bone into the floor. This time the lift is going to happen on the inhaled breath. So when you're ready on your next inhale, legs firm, lift the chest. So we're not lifting the head. The head is just traveling with the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. So your gaze should just be out in front of that mat. Exhale down. A couple more on your own. Just want to take a quick peek as you work through this. Very nice. Building that back strength. All right, so guess what time it is? It's time to hold. So next inhale, hold. See if you can lift your hands a little bit off of the floor and really reach the fingers to the wall behind you. Same thing with those shoulders and shoulder blades. You're stapling them down and in together. Back of the neck is long. Toes still pressing firmly in. And exhale. Nice. Lower down, opposite cheek to the floor. So try to switch sides. Just trying to break some of those habits that we always get into. We tend to always go the same direction. And just know you can change it up and still be calm and stable. Life is still good. It's still where it is. All right. So last time, chin or forehead to the floor. This time we're going to do the full locust. It's going to happen on the inhaled breath. Both the legs and the upper body are going to lift at the same time. So rest your forehead. Let's engage. Toes press in, legs active, pubic bone pressing into the floor. On your next inhale breath, lift the chest, lift the legs, reach those fingers back. Palms can be up or down, doesn't matter. And hold it here. Now really breathe deep here. Great time to strengthen your diaphragm. Last breath. And release. Beautiful. From here, we're going to press those sit bones back. Take your arms alongside your legs. Take that baby pose, right? That variation of child's pose where we're kind of tucked into a little ball. Tune back into those 3 anchors of mindfulness: breath, body, mind. Notice where you feel the energy from everything we've done. What sensations are you feeling in your body? All right, let's take our tabletop pose. So we're working either tabletop with the leg stretch, or we're warming up in down dog. So you guys know, if you typically go into tabletop, pressing back, remember to press into those hands. If you're joining me for downward dog, same thing here, spread those fingers, shoulder or arms, shoulders width apart, little step back with the knees. Press down through your whole hand. And on your exhale, sit bones go high. We're going to have our knees bent. We're up high on the toes. Don't let that go. Press into those fingertips. All right, now activate the backs of your arms. Soften your shoulders down the back. Sit bones a little higher, then begin to pedal. So again, tabletop, you're alternating one leg and then the other. Downward dog, same thing. Alternating one heel and then the other. Just pedaling it out, getting that length in the back of your legs. All right, now in downward dog, we're going to release the heels. Tabletops, continue what you're doing. If you're in downward dog, press a little bit more into your hands and see if you can press your sit bones a little bit higher. And imagine you're pushing so much into your hands, it's pushing your heels all the way back to the floor, right? Imagine your chest and belly, you're trying to touch your thighs, right? So we're reaching back. Gaze is right between the feet that are hips width apart, right? So head is soft between the arms here. Hold it. Check in on the weight in your index finger. Is it still there? All right, so now we're going to tiptoe walk up to our hands. So tabletops, if you want to just step up with one foot and then the other to ragdoll. Those of you in downward dog, let's work a little bit of strengthening here. So let's come up high on the toes. Belly pulls in. Shift the weight into your left foot and step up with the right. Now come up a little higher on those right toes. Push in, pull your belly in and send your sit bones higher. Step up with your left. You're only going to come as far as you can come to your hands without pulling your hands off the floor. If that happens, take your ragdoll pose. Now let's press into the left foot, pull the belly in, step up. Press into the right, higher, pull the belly in, step up. Pull in, step up. Getting as close to your hands as you can, bend your knees, and then rest in ragdoll. So any variation of ragdoll. You'll notice if you practice that with that downward dog, walking up like that, you're going to build the core strength. You're going to get used to that feeling of shifting the weight into the hands a little bit, right? We're used to having our weight in the feet, kind of just changes it up. So it's nice to give that a little try. And you're just really working the core and some arm strength there. So anytime you get a chance to do that, go ahead and give that a try. So taking care of those shoulders, the muscles of the neck, whatever you need here. And now we're going to prepare to roll up the spine. So knees stay bent, slowly roll up the spine, arms, shoulders, and head. Nice. All right, so now we're ready to come into mountain pose. Preparing for our standing postures, right? So toes lift and spread, lower them back down. Pressing into the toes, the four corners of the feet. Inner ankle bone, inward and toward the back wall. So screw those feet in. Soften your knees, neutral pelvis. Engage the core, hips to ribs, ribs to hips. Lengthen your spine out of the pelvis and draw your shoulders back. Shoulder blades draw down and in, palms come forward. And lengthen through the back of the neck, right out through the crown. Mountain pose. Make adjustments here as needed with the amount of energy you're putting in here. So if you're really pushing in, soften it just a bit so you feel energized, steady, stable, but relaxed. All right, here we go. Inhale, arms high, up overhead. Reach with your fingers, soften the shoulders, and lift your chest. Now on the next exhale, let's begin our forward fold flow. Hinge, long flat back, fingers brush. Inhale, lead with your arms, shoulders, upper back, all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. So work with your breath here again. Breath leading the movement. Keeping the abs turned on so that we're building the strength in the abdomen and the back. All right. Next time you come down, we're going to hold that forward fold. So prepare, plant your hands on something. The reason we want the hands planted on something is so that we can adjust the weight in the feet. So you want to shift your weight around a little bit so you have as much weight in your toes as you have in your heels and vice versa. And then every inhaled breath, you're expanding through the back of the legs. See if you can feel that inhaled breath travel and open up the back of the legs as you press your sit bones high. And then exhale. Soften down the length of the spine, bringing the belly and chest toward the thighs. Inhale, expanding up, right? Really pressing in. Yes, so we're staying still here. We're not moving. We're just imagining. We're feeling that that feeling of expanding the back of the legs. And maybe just a gentle press up with the sit bones. I might have misspoke there. Yeah. All right, one more breath. Next inhale, we're gonna rise all the way back up now. So we're gonna keep these arms overhead. Shift the weight into your left foot. Take your right leg out in front. Try to find a balance, abs turned on. And then we're gonna take that leg all the way out to the side and then forward. All the way out to the side and forward. All the way out to the side and forward, right? So we're kind of making a half moon. Last one, and reverse. Back, out to the side and forward. Last one. Plant that foot, exhale, hinge, forward fold. Next inhale, rise. Shift the weight into the right foot. Left foot comes forward and half moon. So moving right into balance. Reverse the direction. Last one. And lower, exhale, hinge, forward fold. Plant your hands, hang out here a couple of breaths. Next inhale, rise all the way back up. Exhale, take your hands to heart. Let's rest them here at heart center. Take a moment, rest and reset. Feel the movement of your breath behind your thumbs. From your belly right up to that space at heart center. All right, let's move right into our Sun A. So we'll begin, inhale, arms high. Lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Long, flat back. Inhale, rise up halfway, press in, activate the upper back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, step back right foot, then left. Let's find our plank. So grip the floor with your fingers, your knuckles. Press those heels back and turn your abs on. Exhale, rock forward and lower down. So through knees or push up. Point your toes behind. Inhale, lift the chest, hover. So we're used to this feeling. We did this in locust, right? Exhale, lower down. Either send your sit bones back to child's pose or roll the toes under, prepare through your legs. Exhale, plank to down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Take a step up with the right foot, either from tabletop or down dog, then the left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful, big breath in. Let it go. Big breath in. And out. Nice. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left foot, then your right. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Try not to let those toes lift. Exhale, lower. Child's pose or prepare. Exhale, plank to down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Take a step up, left foot, then right. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Big breath in. Let it go. Get rid of all that tension, all that junk we don't need. Inhale big. And out. Nice. Let's begin sun B. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, lower. Everybody's favorite, inhale, chair, sit bones down and back. Make your adjustments here. Now we're trying to find that calmness with our breath, inner calm, even though this is a challenge. Weight in heels. Tip the tail, lift your gaze, lift your chest. All right, exhale, fold down, beautiful. Inhale, step back with that right foot, lower down to the knee. Tuck your tailbone, sink your hips. Turn your abs on here and let's lift the arms. So spine can lengthen right out, or you can add that little chest lift, right, for extension. So abs on, maybe you want to lift the chest toward the ceiling. Exhale, lower the hands. Nice. Let's take a step back to plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, this time choose your cobra. Maybe you feel like coming up a little higher. Yeah. Exhale, lower. Child's pose or prepare. Exhale, plank to down dog. Inhale, right leg comes high. So this can be done through tabletop or down dog. Bend your knee, stack your hip. So hip opener here, three-legged dog. See if you can focus on pressing that left heel toward the floor and your right foot, the sole of your foot, toward the wall behind you, right? All right, straighten out that leg. Square off the hips on your next exhale. Knee to nose, tabletop or down dog. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose, rock forward, push the floor away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rock forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rock forward, knee to nose, and step that foot up on the inhale. Come down to the left knee, kneeling lunge. Tuck the tail, sink the hips, lift the arms. Beautiful. So again, you can add that chest lift if you'd like. All right, next exhale now. We're going to take the hands and we're going to plant them at that top left corner of the mat. All right, so what we're going to do is take a little diagonal stretch here. So you can keep that back knee planted for now. See if you can slide your hands out a little further beyond the mat. Give it a stretch, right? Back of the neck long. Now you can stay here stretching out, or see if you can lift that back knee off the floor, right? So now we're in that low lunge. Press back with that heel. Reach out with your fingers. Get a big stretch here. Knee up or down. How's your breathing? All right, now let's walk the hands back. Plant them inside this right foot. We're going to come into an extended side angle from down low. So again, you can keep, if you want to, that knee to the floor. But if you can, lift it. Now, let's take the left hand to the hip. So this right hand can be on a block, the floor, or you can bring it up to the thigh. Plant your back heel. All right, so that left heel is planted, arch lined up with the heel. Open up the rib cage. Extend that top arm if you'd like. So again, hand can be to the floor, on a block, or on the thigh. You're reaching beyond your ear. So we're used to doing this coming in from up top, right? Now it's a little deeper because we came in from down low. If you notice that your rib cage is caving in a little bit, dropping down, come up to your thigh, come up a little higher. Even here, that front knee should be stacked over the ankle. You can see the big toe, right? Yeah. One more breath. All right, now let's spiral back down. Pivot to the front of the mat. Take your low lunge, either on the knee or knee lifted. Press out through the heel, the crown. All right, let's prepare to step up. Bend the knee, push off. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Big breath in. Let it go. In and out. So it's just those little changes, just coming into that pose a little differently than you're used to. You want to still find that calmness with your breath. Life is all about change, right? So here we go. Left side. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Everybody's favorite. Here we go. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. Come on down. Take a step back with that left foot. Lower down to the knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, choose your cobra. Exhale, lower. Child's pose or prepare. Exhale, push the floor away, plank to down dog. On your inhale, take that left leg high, tabletop or down dog, you choose. Bend that knee and stack your hip. Excuse me. Pressing that thigh a little higher. All right, realign those hips. Exhale, knee to nose from tabletop or down dog. Inhale, send that leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. And then inhale, step that foot up, lower down to the knee, kneeling lunge. Inhale, arms go high. All right, exhale here. Now the hands are going to come to the corner of the mat, the right side, right? Keep that knee stacked. Now let's slide the hands out a little further. All right, see how it feels? I'm just getting a big stretch here. If you're okay, lift that back knee off the floor. So pretty low here. Just getting into these poses a little differently. It's going to make them a little bit deeper. All right, let's walk those hands back inside that left foot. Now let's drop that right heel to the floor, wedge that foot. We're going to come into our extended side angle. Hand to the floor, hand to the block, or hand on the thigh. Open up the rib cage to the right, so your right hand's on your hip. And then maybe extend that arm beyond the ear. So get some energy into the outside edge of that back foot. So it's like you're extending right out from the edge of it, through your crown, through your fingers. Spine's long. You guys look beautiful. How's your breathing? Breathe in that calmness. Feel steady. Do you feel steady now in your physical body? You're connected to the earth in those contact points? All right, now let's windmill down to the floor. Bump the back foot back a little bit. Low lunge. All right, now let's push off of that back foot. Step up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment, rest here. Keep your hands at heart. Feel the movement of your breath beneath your hands at heart center. Now blink your eyes open, find a focal point. Shift your weight to your left foot and come into tree with your right leg. Find your tree. If it's just lifting the toes, maybe you're planting at the calf, maybe the thigh. Press the leg and foot into each other. Pull that left hip away from the opposite wall, abs on. Maybe you want to grow your branches. Remember, don't hold your breath. Your breath is what's going to bring calmness in this pose. So even if you don't feel steady today and you're all over the place and you have to just give it another try and then try again, who cares, right? Just go with it and just try to stay calm inside, even though outside, it doesn't seem so balanced. Beautiful. Come on down, release. Bring your hands to heart, shift your weight into your right foot, plant your tree on the left. And release. On your exhale, hinge, hip crease. Come into your forward fold. All right, now from here, we're gonna step back to plank. Not giving you a lot of breaks here today, right? We're throwing it all at you. Plank, knees up or down. Press into those fingers. Now we're gonna come into a side plank. So what I want you to do is drop your heels to the right. If you need to drop that right knee to the floor, go ahead and do that. If you can keep both knees lifted, go there. Take your left hand to your hip. Maybe you can reach that hand to the ceiling. So if you're here and you want to try stacking the feet, if your hips are lifted, you can stack the feet, takes a little bit more balance. Or maybe you're super balanced and you want to try to lift that left leg to a star pose. Now, if you have the knee drop to the floor, you can lift that leg in star pose as well. Just lifting it up, and I'll turn this way to show you. Like that. Or just find your variation, whichever it is for you. One more breath. All right, come back to plank. Now on your exhale, send your sit bones up to down dog or to child's pose just for a moment. All right, now to tabletop or down dog, lift your right leg high. Hold for your exhale. On your inhale, step that right foot up between the hands. So now we're gonna come into a crescent lunge. You can do this from a kneeling lunge or with that knee lifted. If the knee's lifted, the heel is high. Inhale, rise up. So from kneeling lunge or crescent lunge, you choose. Hips pointing to the front of the room. Find the stability, ground down through that front foot and the ball of your back foot. Next exhale, twist right. Right hand back, left arm forward from the knee or from crescent. Inhale, arms come high. Exhale, lower. Take a step back to plank. All right, now let's drop those heels to the left. Side plank here, so dropping that left knee or keeping the hips lifted. Right hand to hip. Ground down now through that left hand. Maybe take the right arm high. Maybe stack the feet. Maybe lift the right leg for star with the knee up or down. So pick your poison here, guys, whatever variation suits you. We can really challenge ourselves because this is not an easy pose. Nice. Now return back to your plank. All right, send those sit bones back up to down dog or to child's pose. Big breath in and out. Now let's lift that left leg high from downward dog or tabletop. Take a step up with that left foot. All right, so here's where we're going to decide. Crescent lunge or kneeling lunge, so the knee can be down. Inhale, arms high, or that knee can be lifted. You choose. Especially if that knee's lifted in crescent lunge, you want to make sure you have that railroad track spacing between your feet. Feel your connection to the earth. Turn on your abs. Find that stability. Next exhale, twist left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lower. Step back to down dog, and then we'll all meet in child's pose. Finally, right? Take a child's pose of choice. All right, next exhale, let's roll up the spine. So today what we're going to work is grounding down through the hands to practice an arm balance. So it doesn't mean you have to do the arm balance. So let me give you your option if you don't want to try crow pose. If you'd rather not try the arm balance, you'll come on your back. You're going to press your hands as though the ceiling is the floor, and you're going to push your hands into them. And on your exhale breath, you're going to pull your knees in toward your armpits, pressing up with the hands, and then release. Exhale, pull in, press up. All right, so that's your option. Now, if you want to try the actual arm balance, you can join me here on the mat. So those of you doing the one supine, go ahead and go there now, start working that. If you want to join me for crow, you're coming up high on your toes, knees are wide. You're going to plant your hands in front, and you can do this also from a block, and I'll show you that version if you have blocks. I kind of like that because it gives you a little bit more lift, and it allows you to get the knees into the armpits. So plant the hands, tuck those knees in, nice and close to the armpits, and then you're going to bend the elbows and just shift the weight forward, pulling your navel into your spine, and then come back. So you can just work on this shifting weight into the hands, pulling the belly in and back. And that can be done on the block or the floor. Then, if you feel pretty steady after coming forward and you want to practice lifting one foot and then place it down, and then the other and place it down. You might be at the point where you want to try lifting both. That's up to you, but work it. Give it about 3 tries. And then we'll come into a recovery pose, child's pose. So the idea here is letting yourself, and it's good because you have carpeting or a pillow, but as you can see, my knees are right inside my elbows, and all I'm doing is rocking forward, right? Rocking. You're going to come further forward than you think you should because you want to balance out the weight on the front and back side of the body. All right, if you're ready, give it one more try and then let it go. And you know what? Let's all just come onto our backs and hug the knees into the chest. I said child's pose, but we'll get back down to the floor here on our backs. So you're just rocking side to side. Let's massage the low back. All right, so now we're going to work a bridge pose. So let's plant the feet nice and close to the heels nice and close to the buttocks. Reach your fingers down as though you want to touch your heels. So now we're going to think about the connection of the feet and the upper back and arms to the earth. So ground them in, and on your inhale breath, lift your hips. So you're going to press your hips up as high as you feel comfortable, trying to make sure that the knee is direct right out from the hips. Now let's take a tuck of one shoulder blade and then the other beneath you. That opens up the chest a little bit. Still reaching down with the fingers toward the heels. So we're going to hold this bridge here. Now if this feels pretty good to you, pretty easy, shift your weight into the left foot and see if you can bend your right knee and hug it in toward your chest, right? Staying in the bridge pose, keeping your hips lifted. And if this still feels okay, maybe you can straighten that leg, like you're reaching it out to the wall and ceiling crease, right out from the hip. So pick your poison, traditional bridge, or this one-legged bridge. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the foot if it's lifted. Exhale, roll down the spine. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. So if you notice that that hip drops or it's too weighted for you, choose one of the other variations. Hug that knee back in or keep both feet planted. Remember, we're being kind to ourselves. We're trying to build strength. We're trying to find that calmness when the going gets tough. But you also have to listen to your body. Plant your feet. Reach with your fingers. Next inhale, hips lift. Tuck the shoulders. All right, see how it feels on this side. If you're good, shift the weight to the right leg. Bring the left knee in. You might like it right here, or maybe you want to send it out long. For 5, abs turned on. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice, drop that foot, roll down the spine. Hug your knees back in. Yeah, you should need that. Should feel really good here. All right, now let's plant the left foot to the floor. Send the right leg high. Cross that right ankle over the front of the left knee. Now rotate that hip out just like you do in tree pose. Let's take a supine pigeon. Maybe pull those legs in. Maybe you like that left foot resting on a block, just lifting it up a little bit. Maybe you use a strap. Whatever you need to do to feel something nice and deep in that right hip. All right, now let's drop that left foot to the floor. Cross your right leg all the way over that leg. Scoot your hips off to the right and let the knees fall left. So a cross leg twist here. Arms nice and wide, shoulder height. Maybe your gaze is opposite the knees. And return to center. Beautiful. Unwind the legs, plant your right foot, send your left leg high. Cross that ankle. Rotate that hip to open your knee and supine pigeon on this side. I like to use my elbow here on my thigh to kind of press my knee open. If that works for you, if your elbow's right there, kind of press into it. See if that helps with that hip rotation a little bit. All right, now let's drop that right foot, cross the left leg all the way over, scoot your hips off to the left and let the knees fall right. Wide arms, both shoulder blades releasing to the floor. And then return back to center. Unwind and take a happy baby pose. Grab a hold wherever it is for you, rock side to side. And then when you're ready, open up to a final symmetrical stretch. Press the soles of your feet to one wall, fingertips reach to the other. Get some length in your spine. Feel space between your vertebrae. And then finally, press your low back into the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it all go and prepare for your final relaxation. So if you want to drape those legs over your couch or up your wall, maybe you want to stay in Shavasana. Don't forget your blanket, your pillow, whatever you need here, socks. Just finding a nice, comfortable spot to rest. Once you're settled in, do whatever you need to do. A little bit of wiggling and moving around to just make those adjustments you need to make in your body. And then begin to close your eyes and let your body rest. Hearing the sounds around you without reacting to them. Let them come, let them go. Sense the space around you. And become aware of this moment in time. Allow time for your body to begin to still. And in that stillness, you can rest. When the body's rested, the mind can also rest. As you become the observer of your own breath. Each nourishing inhale as the belly rises and each cleansing exhale as it falls. Watching as your breath gradually becomes a smooth, unbroken stream that flows without sound, without pause. Inhale to exhale, exhale to inhale again and again. And as you continue to rest in the flow of your breath, we're going to go through a grounding meditation. Bring these thoughts to your mind as you continue to breathe deeply and smoothly. I am safe. I am completely in my body. I am not in the past. I am not caught up in the what ifs. I am here in the now. I am aware of where I am right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I know the clothes that I have on. I feel the sensations in my feet. I'm aware of the room that I'm in and my immediate surroundings. I take deep breaths, aware of my breath moving in and out. I take cleansing breaths, aware of the breath moving in and out of my body. I take grounding breaths, feeling the air come into my body and feeling the tension release from my body. I feel grounded. I feel anchored. I feel rooted in my strength, my resilience, and my resolve. All of my focus is directed to this present moment. I channel all my thoughts, energy, and emotion into now. My heart and mind flow with ease. Peace, peace, peace. Now, when you feel ready to return to your day, take a moment to do so. Bring some movement to your fingers, your toes, your head and neck. Then gently rub the palms of your hands together. Place your warmed hands over your eyes. Open your eyes to the warmth and energy of your own hands. And slowly draw your hands down and let in the light of day. Take a moment to do what feels natural. Maybe massage your temples, your forehead. Maybe you feel like opening up to a stretch, or maybe you want to hug the knees into the chest. Whatever feels right. And then finally, before returning to your seat, take a moment to roll to your right side. Taking a fetal pose there, and just give yourself a moment to allow the weight of your body, the weight of your emotions, melt away from your heart. And let your heart feel light. When you feel ready to return to your seat, rise slowly and carefully. And just for a brief moment of gratitude, just giving thanks to our body for bringing us into this space today, for moving us through the poses. Let us feel grounded and connected, but also calm and at peace. Take a moment to acknowledge the positive energy that each of us has brought into this space today. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you.